I'm going to go ahead and let you know one last time that I'm Principal Hardrick. We also have some of our other staff members with us. Sorry. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Jeff Deverone. I'm the lead coach.
I'm Coach Ragab. I'm the mathematics coach.
I'm Jonathan Watson. I'm ELA Humanities coach.
I'm John Lockwood. I'm the science and SPED coach.
I'm Courtney Haryoung. I'm the community outreach coordinator.
Hi, everyone. I'm Steph Ebersol. I'm the office manager.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Bird. I'm the humanities coach.
All right. We also have Coach Scales, who will be joining us soon. He's our PLT monitor. And Coach Nices, she is our school nurse. Parents, I'd like you to keep in mind that we have a full-time nurse on staff to assist with everything concerning COVID and then some. So we really appreciate our team. Moving right along. All right, so here's some frequently asked questions. How are you making decisions on COVID-19 precautions? So families, I'd like you to know that we do have a pandemic response team at the PPHS network, and they are responding to the data that is submitted and new guidelines that the DOE and the CDC releases. So we just want to ensure you that we will continue to follow all local and national guidelines. I do understand that Governor Holcomb was on last night and declared the state of Indiana to be open completely, 100% capacity in businesses and other places. We're still not sure about school, but we will remain following all local and national guidelines until we hear something other than. And if you have questions, you can be sure to jot that down for the very end. Now, if you are in fact having an issue with your student, concerning any part of what we do during the day, our model, your student's PLC coach is the best person to contact for any questions that you might have. And so make sure that you do know all of your students' coaches, and they do have all of our email addresses are on the website, so for you to reference to. Now, here's another question. How will my student be graded? So PPHS is a mastery-based educational model. We also have our Edmonton program, which students are working on twice a day during their PLT time, which is their personal learning time. And that is for an hour, both times. Our PLT monitor, who I did say earlier was Coach Scales, he is there to support students and guide them along during their PLT time. Can I switch from virtual to on-site? Now, here's a really important question that I'd like to have conversation about, hopefully at the very end. So students are asked to remain in their chosen cohort, which is virtual or on-site, at the very beginning of a cycle. So all students who had enrolled, your student was either going to be on-site full-time or virtual full-time. Now, there are some exceptions that we can make in cases of COVID where students have to be isolated or quarantined. But let's say that the weather's not so great, or we have a slight stomach ache. It's really important to make sure that we're following the guidelines. It really does us a disservice, our coaches, as they go along throughout the day when students last minute, 5, 4, 3 minutes before school's supposed to start, just say that they're going to be virtual. And then students that were working in pairs are prohibited to do that. And it just creates some chaos. So we really appreciate ensuring that students remain in the cohort that they originally signed up for. And then if there is a change, we're able to do that at the end of the cycle, which is at the end of the 6 weeks. And we are beginning a new cycle come the 28th. Now, how are grades calculated? Edmentum, which I did say earlier is the online platform that we are using. Students work through modules and they work at their own pace, and they're free to revisit whenever they choose. So even after they've completed their work and they feel like, wow, I could have done a lot better, they have the ability to go back in and make those changes and get an even higher grade on their assignments. Now we have competencies, and these are student demonstrated competencies. They demonstrate these competencies, in a variety of ways, through projects, there's in-class work, there's internships. They are ranked through no evidence, approaching, proficient, and advanced. And so you will be seeing that soon on their report cards. Okay. Here's our instructional model and student schedule. We have our personal learning coach, which is our PLCs, and each student has a coach to help guide them through their experience and check in with them every single day. So when they first come in the morning, this is what's happening. They're getting breakfast if they choose to eat breakfast, and then that's their personal time to discuss with coaches any concerns. Passion projects, these are coach-led. They're interest-based projects that the students elect into. So for example, I'm sure many of you have heard about the passion projects these last 6 weeks. We had our Adopt, Don't Shop with Coach Ragab. We had several others, All About Me. And so these were coach-led and interest-based. So I love it because our students were able to decide based on their own interest where they were going to, which passion project they would be part of. Our industry projects are projects that are posed by industry partners, where students get to learn real life skills. COVID has put a bit of a damper on our schedule concerning industry projects and partners. Excuse me, not the projects, just the partners with COVID and not being able to be there in person. So we've been able to do a lot of virtual, and we're hoping that things get a little bit clearer as we move on in this next cycle. Personal learning time, again, I said that earlier, we have that twice a day, in the morning and then again in the afternoon, where students are working independently with their coach to support to complete learning experiences. And then of course our dojos, which are coaches. Our coaches conduct small group lessons and experiences to provide extra support or additional enrichment. And I will let you know, families, those dojos have been constantly changing to ensure that we refine for the betterment of our students.
And just to get on the how we can get involved, I am, like I said, the community outreach coordinator. I know that COVID has, not been the most easiest, especially going with our new school, but we will be having mentorships, internships. We did actually just have a resource fair virtually that will be sent out so everyone can take a look at it. We're trying to come up with different ways so our families can still get all of the information, but in the comfort of their own home. So definitely in the next couple of days, you'll be seeing some emails going out for surveys and just any information that we think that would be helpful to our families.
Thank you, Coach Courtney. Passion projects. So I would like for each coach to go ahead and share these passion projects as in the order that they appear on the slide. So we'll go ahead and begin with coding drones and AI.
Hello, everybody. I'm Coach Lockwood. Again, I'm the science coach. So just looking back at what we've accomplished so far this past cycle, my passion project was focused on electronic music, getting students experience with how music is created, understanding how instruments create sound. We built some electric guitars and basses, and then we moved into actually using those to produce some electronic music songs, which we're going to be sort of premiering tomorrow during our passion project showcase. And that experience has completely blown me away, what the students were able to accomplish making those songs. So my cycle 2 passion project that we're about to start this upcoming Monday is focused on teaching coding and learning how to code in both Python and like a Scratch-based coding language through the use of drones. So the first bit of that project we're actually going to take and design an obstacle course and basically program the drone to run that obstacle course autonomously. And in doing so, learning some of the different sort of syntax of a coding language. After that, we'll work on learning how to code in Python, which is a little bit more text-based of language. And then we're going to get some, I guess you could say, professionals, some pretty well-known faces in the field of artificial intelligence, actually in virtually to talk with students and try to integrate some artificial intelligence and machine learning into the drones to get them to react to human gestures and do some cool stuff towards the end of the project. So thank you.
Thank you, Coach Lockwood. Coach Bird.
Hi, everyone. I'm Coach Bird again. This cycle, we just are finishing up an All About Me project, which is an expressive autobiography. So it was cool to watch students think about like who they've been and who they are and maybe like where they want to be going and express that in any kind of creative way. So we've had Google slides, but we've also had like collage kind of ideas. We've had painting, we've had playlists put together to accompany things. So it's been really cool to watch students like think about themselves deeply and who they are and think about where they want to be going at the beginning of high school. The project that we're bringing in cycle 2 is called 'Tis the Season. So I'm excited about this and kicking off the holiday season. I want students to research like their favorite holidays, why those are favorite holidays, like do some deep dive into the history and traditions essentially, and also explore something that they don't know anything about. So we're building in like some cultural ideas too. We're also going to be working on a couple of service projects, and I'm going to let those be student based. So we're going to be surveying on how we can bring some holiday cheer here and there going into the holiday season. So that's what we're doing cycle 2.
Wonderful.
everyone.
Go ahead, Coach Regap. Thank you.
My name is Coach Ragab, and I'm going to be doing the Invention Challenge. So the Bright Spark Invention Challenge takes place every year. It's annual, and what they do is it's from the 4th grade to the 12th grade. It goes by different age brackets, and it takes place during the month of October. So the competition itself begins on October 1st and runs through October 31st. And what the students are going to be using, they're going to be utilizing the design thinking process, which is a set of skills, stages that we're instilling in them right now at Purdue Polytechnic High School. And they're going to be focusing on community-based issues, ways to better their community, to bring the community closer, that sort of thing. So they're going to initially research the community, look into it, interview, whatever it takes to find out some kind of problem that the community faces. Examples could be hunger, it could be crime, whatever it may be that we face in our communities. And what they're going to have to do is brainstorm and prototype some form of solution, whether tangible or non-tangible, to helping the community out, fixing the problem, or just bettering the community somehow. So this challenge takes place through October 31st. They're going to create 90-second pitch videos explaining what their solution is, what the problem was, how they solved it, demonstrating it. So it's an invention, something they're creating from scratch. So they're going to have to be creative. This pitch, this solution is 90 seconds. It's going to go on the Bright Spark YouTube channel, and it's going to get voted on by the public. And for each grade level, the invention that gets the most likes advances to the next stage, a semi-finalist stage, then a finalist stage where a panel of judges decide who wins ultimately. And there's an award ceremony in November, I believe on November 17th. The students are given prestigious awards. Their names go on banners on the website, on social media. It's something great to take with you going forward when you're applying to colleges, especially if you're looking at something like engineering. It also looks wonderful on a resume. And I also get commended, so I'm pretty happy about that. I want PPHS to win. So I look forward to working with them, and we have some of the most innovative and creative students in the area, and I think we could definitely pull this off. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Coach Ragab. Coach Watson.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, parents. Good evening, my fellow coaches and administrators. My passion project seeks to identify members of the underserved communities in our area who may lack exposure or training in artistic endeavors, but may have undiscovered talents. One of the things about being in an underserved community is that often you are focused on the day-to-day ins and outs of life, and you don't have a lot of time to think or feel more artistically. What we want to do, what I want to task the students with doing, is finding ways to create opportunities to help members of the underserved communities advance their talents, advance their exposure, and maybe discover ways that they can help them become better and greater than they feel they can right now. And so I think the students will rise to that challenge. I think they'll use what Coach Ragab described as design thinking to help find, identify, and create these opportunities for members of the communities who may not otherwise have them. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, coaches. All right, so families, we have come to the end of our time together concerning information that we wanted to share with you. Now comes the best part, questions. Always know that if you do not wish to leave questions here, you can contact myself. My email address is there. Please feel free to contact Coach Haryoung. She is the community outreach person who has such a plethora of knowledge and knows the community very well, and she's been a great asset to the team. So feel free to go ahead and in the chat box, if you'll go ahead and if you have some questions, if you'd like to type them there, we can go ahead and answer them. And I would appreciate everyone on the team to feel free to help answer some of these questions if there's something that really sticks out to you. I really appreciate everybody's time. And if you do need to go, we understand. That's all that I have. So questions? Well, I think I'll get started. I have a question for you, families. So here's my question. I made mention about students not changing their initial cohort, whether they were going to be virtual or on site. So how did some of you feel about that? I know that we have had some families that have emailed and said, you know, my student is not coming in today, and I just want to get some feedback on that. These are difficult times with this pandemic, and so I just, curious on what you were thinking about that. And yes, we will be having our flu vaccinations. The health department will be sending someone out. There's a question about flu vaccines at school, so thank you. The health department will be coming. They'll conduct a clinic, and our nurse will be there guiding the persons coming from the health department. And there will be flu vaccinations that will be free to students. I do know that a form has gone home, and I believe the nurse is going to send another one, just as a reminder that if you would like to have the flu vaccine for your son or daughter at school, we just need to make sure that you send that form back. Thank you, that's a great question. On the 28th does begin. Thank you, Ms. Block. On the 28th is when we begin our very new cycle. So we'll start another 6-week cycle. And if we have not previously discussed a plan of action concerning attendance for your student, please know that we can do that in order to accommodate you and your students' needs. And so I do know, Ms. Block, that you did reach out to Coach Courtney, and we're good there. So if you would like to remain, if you would like your son or daughter's schedule to remain the same, even beginning on the 28th, we can do that. One thing I will tell you that, I mean, it's a little soon, but Picture Day will be coming. Picture Day is going to be October 15th. So we will send everything virtually. There will be an online platform for you to go ahead and view the cost of the photo packages that we'll have available through LifeTouch. And also, those of you whose students are virtual, we will have a schedule so that you can let us know if it works best for you, for your student, your virtual student, to come in the morning before everyone gets there, or if you'd rather them come after school. And we'll see how we can accommodate you with our LifeTouch picture people. So that's coming up soon. Families, if there's nothing else that at the moment that you can think of, that is completely fine. Just know that you can email any of us. Know that if you do have questions and you'd like to speak with us personally, you can get a hold of us. Thank you, Coach Har-Young. She has put my email address in the chat box. Please feel free. We welcome ideas. We welcome everything that you have to share. I thank you so much for entrusting us with your student. I'm very, very proud of the progress that they have made, each and every one. They're literally blossoming in front of us. And I can guarantee that your student is not the same today as they were when they first walked in on day one, even back to school night. So we just appreciate that, and we appreciate your time. And please feel free, if there's ever anything that you need, just reach out and we will be there to serve you.